Episode 7?
Is it really episode 7?
Episode 7, dude.
Episode 7 of the Week in Review with me, Richie.
And Jeremy.
And
this week, check out my shirt, dude. It
geez,
says...
it's not a flag-inspired shirt. Wow,
it's not a flag. It says, not grandpa. Old daddy, you know...
Well, that's you are grandpa.
I am a grandpa.
You are, old man. And you had a birthday. What are you now, 53?
No, nope, not 53.
52, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not 52.
Why are you lying?
No, I'm not, because I'm not.
Why are you lying for?
I did. I'm a grandparent now, and that's awesome and stuff, but I'm also...
But anyway, happy 50th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm also a father, you know?
Well, yeah, I would assume that you'd have to be somewhat of a father to be a grandfather. I mean,
right. Well, not necessarily.
But
you know, this week DeWine passed a really cool thing highlighting dads.
Oh, did he? But before we get started on that,
yeah, do you know that?
We do have a guest here with us.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that guest we have with us?
Hello, everyone.
Mr. Colin Hedges.
Mr. Colin Hedges.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, welcome.
I've been a loyal follower here, so I was glad to get the invite.
Right.
Oh, we're glad you came.
So, as another father, do you got a dad voice?
Oh, I can put the dad voice on. Yeah.
You can you?
Yes.
Yeah, all dads have a dad voice. You know, moms don't get that. Dads have that.
Moms have a mom voice when they're mad and
they
angry.
have a whole different thing. But dads have one of those ones that stops
Mm-hmm.
kids right in their tracks. You know, kids running towards like a pond, and you got that, hey, you know, and it's this whole voice that kids know.
So what's your dad voice?
We were at the park this week, and she was not wanting to go, and it was get in the truck now.
Right.
She knew. It was like, oh, okay.
He means business.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Time to go.
Yeah, but so DeWine partnered with All Pro Dads. It's this nonprofit across the United States and stuff, and it basically supports kids and stuff and like a dad role for like single moms and kids that are in foster care and stuff like that. They're just they get together with kids and just, you know, play with kids, but it also supports like dads like us. You know, you don't see a lot of initiatives for dads.
You don't really?
Mm-mm.
But you should. Well, why isn't there more initiatives for dads? Does anybody do you have any thoughts on that? Why there isn't more initiatives for dads? I know that like as dads we are kind of like we either get labeled the fun. Why do you always have to be the fun one? Why do I have to be the rule setter? Why do you get to be the fun one? Do you feel that sometimes?
I feel like that's, but I think over time things have kind of like, it's not all focused on the mother. There's some on the dad too, and the roles have changed so much over the decades too, where it's like,
Yeah, I work from home,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm cooking and cleaning.
Right.
You know, I'm the one that's taking care of babies a lot of times. I have been for 10 plus years, longer than that.
So in other words, you're saying you're Mr. Mom.
I am Mr. Mom.
Sometimes that's what you gotta do.
I actually wear that label proudly.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Because I can work on a car, you know, and then I can come in and mop the floor and fix dinner and then change a diaper.
Wait, you
I
work
can
on
do
a
all
car?
that.
You work on a car?
Absolutely.
Like what kind of work you do on a car?
I can do anything on a car.
Like what?
Anything.
Name three, quick.
I can change an engine. I can change a
Change
starter.
an engine. Right on. I can change an engine.
Yeah.
Wow, just like.
But I mean, I could do all the maintenance and stuff. My dad used to be a backyard mechanic, and I say that.
Shade tree mechanic.
But he did such a good job. Everybody knew what he did. He just loved working on cars, and he would be one of those guys that if he needed a hand, my brother was smart enough to hit the bathroom as soon as he knew Dad was coming in, and I wasn't. And so he used to grab me and say, "Hey, I'm gonna learn you some stuff or whatever." And he'd pull me out in the garage, and I'd be under the garage with a hacksaw cutting off an exhaust with stuff falling down on my face. I hate working on cars.
Okay.
But
mind you, he hates working on cars, but the first thing he brought up was the things that he could do.
Mm-hmm. But I can do it. I mean, and I've saved a lot of money over my lifespan because I know how to do it.
52 years on this planet.
50.
Don't overage him.
But I mean, I worked on cars when I was 19. You know, I worked on my cars that my first cars and stuff like that had problems because I drove out to Ohio here when I was 19 years old, and only person that could fix a car was me.
I think it's a great thing. I think all men should and women should learn how to do simple maintenance on their vehicles. Rotating their tires, changing their oil, changing their brakes. Simple things that if they ever get stranded and stuck down, they can fix those things.
I agree.
Yeah. Can you do your own brakes?
I've done brakes once. I can say I can change my engine oil, change a tire.
Okay.
I'm not even going to try and mess with changing an engine.
No,
That's
just
I'm trading the damn thing in at that point. If we're coming to that.
So me and my cousin Christopher, who is a little bit younger than me, he used to live here in Ohio. He's back in Maine. We actually changed a transmission out in a parking lot.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was in a Ford Ranger. So it was a rear-wheel drive, so it wasn't really that bad, actually. Because the rear-wheel drive ones, they're kind of right there. It's a lot easier than the front-wheel drives.
It's right there.
I remember in high school, my buddy, he had an old Chevy full-size pickup. And you could literally walk into the engine. I mean, it's wide open.
Yeah.
My dad had a Dodge Ram Charger. And they were like the big Broncos, of the day and stuff. And it was exactly the same thing. There's some pictures I have at the house of my dad, like literally inside the engine compartment working on the engine.
Right.
Nowadays, you can't do that.
Look and get your hands in those things nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, this week I was at Anduril. I got an invite to get up to Anduril and take a look at their...
Get out of here. So you were inside the plant.
Arsenal 1 is what it's called. Yep,
okay.
Inside the plant. And they gave me a tour inside the plant.
Really?
And,
can you post a couple of photos during this?
Yeah. I'll actually throw up a video.
Yeah, nice.
So they're creating Fury. Fury is their first one off the line. And matter of fact, they were supposed to start in July.
Okay.
Right, to start doing production of the Fury.
This coming July.
Yes. Okay. And they're actually just started.
Wow, so they're ahead of schedule.
They're ahead of schedule. And what the really cool thing is, this is an autonomous fighter plane. You've seen it, right?
So is this one the one that's supposed to fly alongside the fighter jets in case a missile gets shot at them? It can go towards the missile so that the
and it can carry
15,
missiles.
It
can do reconnaissance. It can do all that stuff. And it's like a baby jet fighter.
Oh, nice.
It's just a little bit smaller. What the cool thing is this is an autonomous vehicle, and they're building them by hand. There's no automation in their warehouse, and they did that on purpose.
How many do you know how many they could pump out a week, a month, a year?
150.
150
at a month.
In a month. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Did you have to have like security clearance to get in there, or was it like was everything all the top secret stuff?
Well, I've been checked a couple of times because I did a story.
Was this open to a whole bunch of other reporters as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it was an event for.
Yeah, Newsweek was there, and New York Post was there. There was some pretty big ones there, pretty big names there. It was really kind of cool. But I did an interview with them about 6 months ago, so they kind of, I've answered a few questions for them and stuff. So I'm sure they knew what my background is.
Nice.
But anyway, going up there, they showed us this warehouse, and this warehouse is absolutely huge, right? And it's one of 8 warehouses that they're going to build up there, and they're currently building. And each warehouse is going to build a different line. So this one's building the Fury. The one next door might build the Barracuda, which is like a torpedo. And then they actually have, and they told us they have a top secret one going on up there, and they can't talk about it at all. So that's one of the things.
So here we have this one we're going to tell you we have, but we're not going to tell you anything about it. But it's special. We're not going to tell you. It's top secret.
Well, one of the big questions that we had for him was, are you going to do anything up there? Are you going to do any research and development and things like that? And absolutely they are, because they are actually planning to move in a top secret one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice.
I was reading about them, and it sounds like their whole premise, like they're not like your typical defense contractor, where I forget what they call themselves, but basically it's like they're not building to a government standard. They're building their own thing and saying, "Government, do you want this?"
That's exactly right. That's the question that I asked them, and they plan on pumping in music, like 80s music one day, 90s music, while you're building these attack planes. But because there's no automation and stuff like that. Matter of fact, the frame of the Fury goes on a dolly that has wheels on it, right? While they're building it. And the dolly itself has to go from station. There's 22 stations. It goes from station to station as they build it. It's on wheels, and they just have to push it to the next station physically. Like they built everything on the floor that can move. Almost everything can move on the floor simply because they're it's kind of in a U shape how they're building it right now, but you know, maybe it'll be better if it's in an S shape or whatever. So one of the big things with them was efficiency and flexibility.
So they're building the plant to see how things flow and then make adaptations and change as on the fly as needed for efficiency and for whatnot.
And one other thing that they told me about that was unique to Anduril is that all their parts are sourced with multiple different places to get parts. So they don't get bottlenecked into say, hey, this engine's only built at this one company. And
so they don't have supply chain issues.
They don't have any supply chain issues. Matter of fact, their engine for Fury is actually a standard jet engine that they have commercially that they use.
Oh, nice.
So that way that they can make sure that they're producing.
They always have it.
Yep, that was one of their big changes. Really cool thing.
Oh, wow. Nice. And that's here in Asheville.
Yep. Well, yeah, it has an Asheville address and stuff, but it's really kind of like northern Pickaway County. It's right on the Pickaway County line and stuff like that. And they hired 30 people from this area, sent them to California, where they've been living in California, where they've been doing and assembling these Furies and making all these adjustments in their main place. And then they've sent them back here as the seeds when they hire more people, and they're hiring right now.
So do you know how many other plants they have throughout the country?
This is the major plant.
But they have one in California.
They have one in California where they were doing prototypes and stuff like that. But this is their big push. This is their big production push.
They weren't producing before. They were just.
Well, they were making prototypes and stuff like that, and proving themselves and proving it works and stuff like that. But this is production.
Oh, wow.
So 4,000 employees.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a big
great
deal.
for the
And
area.
it's called Arsenal 1 for a reason. Arsenal 1, because it's the first of its kind. The plan is to replicate what they're doing here in Pickaway County somewhere else once they get moving with producing all this
and
stuff.
then call it Arsenal 2?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then Arsenal 2. It's really cool.
No,
Really neat thing. I think it's really cool to have workers there that can jam out the music as they're building and stuff like that. It's not like, all this machinery and whatnot.
You're worried about losing a finger.
Well, if you go into any warehouse settings and stuff like that, it's allowed.
Right. So what else has been going on this week?
Yeah. So the hemp ban came into play this week.
What kind of hemp band?
For the medical hemp that you see like up the road, there's a couple of medical hemp places here.
So the medical marijuana dispensaries.
Not the medical marijuana dispensaries. We're talking about the hemp.
Okay.
The hemp that's got THC or whatever in it. The ones here and locally in town.
The ones that they sell at the gas stations.
Correct.
Okay.
So
what
they
happens?
banned some of that intoxicating hemp.
Oh, really?
Yes. So those places, they slowed it down for a little bit, but that's actually come into play.
So now they got to pull it off their shelves?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or sell it under the counter illegally without people knowing.
Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of rules that came into play also, like an open container of marijuana. Say you had a baggie of marijuana, you can't just keep that in your car. You actually have to keep that in your trunk.
Okay.
If it's open container.
Wasn't the rules always like that?
Not for marijuana.
No?
No.
I thought I saw something that said maybe like can cities regulate like outdoor like recreational marijuana smoking?
So yeah, that's exactly it. Public smoking is a big one that comes in this ban. That's really got a lot of pushback right now. Is because you can't smoke in public anymore.
So they eliminated so you were allowed to smoke in public?
Yeah, you could use the vapes and stuff like that and just walk around. And
so now you can't.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably because, people being around the smoke and stuff like that probably is infringing on their rights or something.
What about if it's medical marijuana and you have a medical card?
I think it's the same thing.
Okay. That draws that area for somebody who has like who uses it for the medical reasons like schizophrenia and other things like that like need to use it before they go into like a Target or something like that.
You could still do it in your car. You still could probably. I think maybe you could do it in a smoking area. I'm not exactly sure what that law is, but.
Well, if you can't do it out,
but you can't do it in a park.
If you can't do it outdoors, why would you be able to do it in a designated smoking area unless it was a designated marijuana smoking area?
You can cigarette smoke there too. Cigarette smoke's hazardous to
Yeah, but you can
secondhand
cigarette
smoke
smoke in
too.
public.
Yeah, but secondhand smoke is hazardous to
Oh,
you
the
too.
days when we were little kids and your parents would hotbox you in the car.
Yep. I grew up like that. I'm the only one in my family.
Down at Wendy's, you go down the step and the cloud would just go right above you there.
We're so old. Do you remember? Do you remember
The
that?
ashtrays on the tables at McDonald's.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, the good old days.
The good old days. I guess you just bring your gummies along, right? Just throw your gummies
I
in.
guess that's what you're
You
gonna have
can't. That's
to do.
different, right?
Can you
Jeez.
fly with marijuana?
No, I don't believe you can because the airports are government.
It's like a federal.
So yes. So I don't believe. Don't quote me on it. I'm not a. But I don't believe you can fly with them. I may be wrong, but I wouldn't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
Then you just got to trash it, right?
Well,
You had
why
it.
would you even take it to the airport if you had it?
I've went to the airport a
Well, then
million
again, I'm
times.
sure there's people who fly with Coke, but still.
Right, and I see people get stuff thrown away constantly. You ever see those bags they have when you're going through the checkpoint, and there's and they're always half full, like with stuff, or people are want to take baby oil or something like that with them.
Baby oil. All right, there, Puffy.
I was thinking like a knife or something.
So that has happened multiple times going through TSA in my life with the knife in my bag, forgetting to take the knife out of my bag, and then being like, well, you could either throw it away or spend X number of dollars mailing it back to yourself. And I'm like, well, I will mail this back to myself. Thank you.
I had that happen once, and they what was crazy is I had flown with it in my bag.
In your carry-on?
Didn't even realize I had it. It was as a wedding. I was in a wedding party, and it was a gift, and so I flew with it in my backpack, and then next trip I never took it out and flew again, and then got caught the second time, and they were like, you can mail it back, or I was like,
So they have a mail. I didn't even know that.
They've got a postal mailbox, and you put your credit card information or something on this piece of paper, and then they do the postage and everything for you. So I was just gonna throw it away, and the TSA guy pressured me. He's like, "Are you sure you want to throw that away? It's a pretty nice knife." I was like, "Okay,
Fine.
$30 to mail it back."
That was high pressure sales,
Probably
wasn't
get
it?
the kickback there, but,
Right.
Especially for you.
Right.
You don't like to spend money.
Yeah, it was not a good day. I'm sure it ruined the entire rest of my trip.
Speaking of both of those things, one of the things that we brought Colin on for was to talk about trash, right?
Yes.
Not physical trash.
No,
The shit you throw out.
listen. Colin is the local expert on
Trash.
on the trash guys, on all the different services for trash and stuff. Every year, when do you do it?
if the name Trash Heap wasn't taken by Fraggle Rock, I'd call you that.
It was probably 3 years ago. Well, I don't know. It's probably even longer than that. It's we had the big local hauler that we had. And when they went out of business, it was okay, who do you go with? And it was amazing to hear all I started asking people what did you pay?
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, at the time, they had been with Waste Management through 5 iterations of different companies and buyouts, and he just, it's they're in their.
He just kept riding
in
it.
their 70s. It's just it's trash. It's the bill. It's we got to pay it. They were paying, I think, almost $200 every 3 months.
Damn.
For just residential trash, and we were paying $80 or $90, and I thought that was high, and I was like, you guys are getting robbed blind. I was like, you need to call and cancel immediately. And that's when we started calling other places and talking to people, and it's there is so much price difference between all these places.
And when you talk about price difference, are you talking just about regular price, not really like, hey, sign up as a new customer price?
Yeah, it's I'm not looking for some of them have a
Introductory.
Introductory rate, or a first responders rate, military rate, senior citizens rate. It's I'm not qualifying for any of that, so it's I'm not asking for any of that.
I want the cheap man's rate, please.
I am a cheap ass. I'm about the cheapest person you'll ever meet. So it's so then people were commenting on my post when I was asking for feedback, and I think everyone kind of realized like there is a huge gap, and it's like it all ends up at the same place
Right.
at the end of the day. So, you know.
So who are the haulers that stood out the most for like the good ones? Who was the ones that people said I paid this and it might be a little bit more, but I really like these guys? Who was the guys that stood out as some of the best?
The local, you know, the.
So wait, where did it start? Like, give us the history of like who 3 years ago was your best, but is not now.
Well, it used to be Brown Sanitation.
Okay.
That they were out of I think Laurelville, and he ended up retiring and sold the business to Rumpke. And Rumpke their deal was we're going to honor everyone's price for 1 year, and then you're on the standard rate,
Which can jump to God knows what.
It went. I forget how much it went up, but then on top of the price going up, they also charge fuel surcharge, which you're not seeing that. You're probably seeing that with waste management, but you're not seeing that with like a Brown or a Hocking Valley or NDS.
One of those real local ones.
Yeah, it's like none of those guys are charging that. So it's like the price they're quoting you is the price you're paying. So you always know every month. So the three that really like stood out were National Disposal Service, NDS. They're like the black trucks you see around town. Hocking Valley Disposal and Mound. And it was funny because Hocking Valley and National Disposal came about because Brown went out of business. They didn't even exist prior. They existed as like an open top dumpster company. So they didn't offer residential, and so I think they saw
an opportunity.
They saw there was a huge opportunity. And then you've got some local haulers too, Roundtown Refuse and Circle. I forget what the name is. There's where literally they're taking like your one bag of trash and throwing it in the back of their pickup truck, and like, they're, I think,
independent little haulers.
Yeah, and they're, it's funny because like for us, we like to just, if I got some trash in the back of my truck or something like that, it's like I want to just throw it in my trash can and be done with it. When you go with the real small independent guys, everything's got to be bagged. So, it's like a lot of people don't care about that, but other people, it's like, that's kind of a hassle to have to deal with that. So,
what happens if somebody just happens to be driving by and your trash can is there and they throw shit in it then?
Yeah. I mean, then you got to just all this random crap in the bottom of your trash can eventually that you got to deal with. It's like,
Right.
But, so those three stood out. We ended up going with National Disposal, owned by
this year.
we went this year.
So now, do you rotate every year, go looking and change every year depending on what it is?
I absolutely still look, because it's like, you're foolish. Because then you end up in that mindset of like my dad, where it's like you're 30 years in and you don't realize that you've been overpaying literally hundreds of dollars every year just because you didn't even.
So I love your posts every year for it. I do. I enjoy you. So it's that time of the year again.
Richie, you just changed
and seeing it, and I'm one of those. I'm one of those people like your parents who turned around, and I've been with Rumpke since 2010. 4 trash receptacles, because I don't we don't have room for a dumpster or anything like that for the building, and I was paying. I want to say at one time it might have been like $80 a month. And then it just recently, by about $140 something a month, I've been paying for the past couple of years. And Hocking Valley, love them. Yeah. Called them up, said, hey, I need 4 trash receptacles. What's the price? Told me the price was $60. I'm gonna put it out there, and I was like, done. Sign me up now.
Yeah.
Now.
He's a great.
He is. We've
used him before, Jack.
You guys gonna make me come off and say I'm actually with Rumpke. Still,
Rumpke's just.
You were with Brown though before.
I was. I've been with a couple different places. I went with Rumpke because of the recycling.
Well, okay, so I still have the recycling.
Right, and you have to pay a little bit more, right?
Pay a little bit more now. So I think it went from $6 when I was a Rumpke trash customer. I was paying $6 for recycling. Now it's $8.
Yeah, and it's a totally different route.
But it's like, and again, it's kind of the mentality of like, what's your time worth as well. It's like I don't want to have to go to the community recycling dumpsters and get there and find out they're full and then have to go somewhere else, and it's like
Because then now you're wasting gas.
Yeah, that $8 is worth it to me to have it picked up every week.
And unlike him, I was totally against the recycling. I'm like, just throw it in the can. They should be able to pull out all my stuff when they're doing my trash. That's how I felt. And my wife talked me into it. Okay. Now I absolutely love it because I can throw all my cardboard boxes that come from Amazon. All it's like they go in there. They don't bulk up my trash. So I'm not taking as much trash out as I used to simply because I'm not. It's filled. It's filled, and I'm throwing stuff in there. And nowadays, I grab something. I'm like, oh, I can recycle that, and I throw it in there. I'm not that pro recycling guy that you probably a lot more than you are. Not that I'm against it, but I just was like, And now I absolutely love it. It's just like everything I can put in my recycling thing gets shoved in there. Metal, like just everything. And it's a whole big old trash can. And it's really like $6, like you said. And that's $6 worth of trash I get rid of every week.
Oh, this is
Plus
so
miles.
adorable. How happy you guys are getting over recycling.
I get excited.
I remember when recycling started in New York City. So like in New York City, Department of Sanitation takes care of trash, so you don't pay for it. But they started a recycling program where you had to put cans and all different stuff in a recycling trash can. And if you put any of that stuff in the regular trash or regular trash in the recycling trash, you just got a fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nazis.
Yeah.
That's Nazis.
That's
You know how we did in Maine?
And
We just
bags,
burnt it.
if bags are too heavy, there's a limit on how much they'll pick up. Yeah, and sanitation workers in New York have unlimited days off for sick
a good
days.
gig, isn't it?
It is a great gig, especially when it snows, because they also the ones who plow the streets,
That's
right?
like in
Yeah,
Michigan,
yeah. Great job. I just had a couple of friends, same age as me, just retired from sanitation after 20 or 25 years in. Retired at 49 years old.
We just burnt it.
I mean, yeah.
In Maine, we just burnt it. It just made good. It's always had fires.
We could do a whole nother podcast on like landfills. I love that the science of that thing. Where it's like those are living, breathing organisms.
Sure.
It's crazy to think about all that stuff.
Yeah, that and the what's the place up in Columbus you drive by and the fire's coming out of the top of it?
Yeah,
That's the shit plant.
Yeah, that's always was cool to me. It's like, wow,
No,
look at that.
stinks. You gotta make sure you have your windows closed and the recycling air on, so you're not pulling the outside air in.
So it used to be probably before your time in Ohio. Right next to it, we had a trash burning plant.
Mhm.
Right.
I remember they had a tire plant. You could smell the tires.
And
When I
the
lived,
tires, right? That was like industrial wastelands, like
yeah,
city right there.
because
That
I
was
lived off of
fresh.
Georgesville Road for a little while in Columbus, and then before I moved into Grove City area, and you could always smell that. Yeah.
You know, it would almost be like Staten Island back in the days, when Staten Island was literally the dump. The
Right.
dump. And if you were, depending on what parts of the island you were on, catch a downwind, woof, woof. Now there's $1 million homes where the dump was.
That's amazing. So here's a cool story for you. Tractor Supply.
Wait, so you're gonna have to come on every year now,
I guess I'll have to
and do and
updates.
yes.
Or whenever he does
Whenever
it, we'll
he
have to
does,
have him
right,
come
yeah.
on. Because
And so just to end this though too, it is funny because just like as people that have been with these places forever, everyone still has different prices, and that was the one thing when people commented, I'd be like, Circle Refuse is $19 a month, and you'd have people that'd be like, well, I pay 23 and I pay 21. It's like, so you never know exactly what you're paying, but it gives you a good gauge of where you should be at.
I appreciate that. And I know it's popular because I've shared it on Side of Oaks a couple times. I appreciate it because it's just somebody that's doing something like that and just getting that information out there. And it takes a lot of work.
It takes some time to get a hold of some of these places, and it's like I remember that was my biggest complaint when Brown was in business. It's like you'd have to call them 2 or 3 times, leave a message. His daughter would then call you back, and you're playing phone tag just to,
How's been your experience with the companies you cancel picking up their trash receptacles?
So we actually bought at the Circleville City School Foundation auction one of the Pumpkin Show orange.
Of course he did.
95-gallon trash cans that we've always used since then. So,
My neighbor has those, and
I love it.
And we once in a while we have a windstorm and it blows into my yard, and I'll be like, "You can't have it back. It's mine."
Yeah. they were selling them for a while at the visitor center, and I think they sold out of them.
Yep, they did.
So you haven't
So I
had to
never had to worry
okay.
about it getting picked up. So
Yeah, I have my own trash cans too.
Okay.
I don't use their my recycling one is the one that they gave me, but I have my own. I have these like Rubbermaid ones. I've had them for like 9 years, and they're still fine. Watch, they're gonna break now, but but they're just great.
well, and that's the interesting thing too. I learned this last time. A lot of the new companies, the HVD and the Mound and National Disposal, even I had to tell them like, hey, I've got this 95-gallon toter cart that they call it that you can actually lift with your machine, because they all are basically requiring you to use their cart or that style
So that
of
their
cart,
truck
So
can
they
pick
can
it up.
dump
so
it.
they don't have to actually physically lift it. The machine, the truck can actually lift it.
Which makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, it's more efficient. It's
Yeah,
all
it
that stuff.
saves their guys their backs and
Injuries
probably
and
workers' comp claims.
Mhm.
I totally get that, but yeah, to your point, it's like I think that's you have to use it now.
right.
Can I go on now?
I suppose.
All right.
Hope it's something good.
Tractor Supply.
What about Tractor Supply?
Tractor Supply is having a demo day this weekend.
A
Demo day, so you can drive.
So you get to drive tractors?
well,
Colin, races in the parking
I
lot.
love it.
well, they're lawn tractors. You
Whoa,
know, there's
lawn tractor races.
there's zero turns and stuff. They're gonna let you come out.
Obstacle course.
Liability waiver first.
Right, they have an obstacle course. You can drive them and try out their.
Wait, seriously? Are they going to have an obstacle course?
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes, it's going to be set up in the parking lot.
We
You're
should
gonna
do
be
a
over there
live
and
one.
drive. And you can go out there and drive. I've never even driven one of those. I'd drive one of those. I've never driven a zero
You've
turn.
never driven a zero
I've
turn?
never driven a zero turn.
Seriously?
I always wanted to, but I've just always, dude. I like to mow my lawn with my mower with my music on and just go. I enjoy that. Sorry.
You know, I used to mow grass professionally. That was my very
Did you really?
gig, yes. That
Was it zero term? Or those ones, what do they call those ones where you
I
stand
did
on the
walk
back
up-
of them
yeah,
and
the
you're
walk-
like,
yeah, the walk-
they're-
they call it a sulky. It was a little.
is that what it's called?
Yeah, it was called sulky. It basically like it was a hitch pin into your walk behind mower there, and you had the handrails.
Who's the guy locally that has the Facebook page that's been, I think he just went to California.
Brenner? The Brenner.
Kyle Brenner.
Yeah.
So he asked me right before he started, he was like, he was talking about, doing social media and stuff like that. And I had told him, and this is what got his start. And you better see this out here, bud. But he said, what can I do? And I said, when it snows first, go plow your snow with it. Go do your zero turn. And that was one of the ones that projected him.
Mowing his grass with the snow on
With the snow on it. And I said, that's what you should do. Because it was something I had seen. And he mentioned that to me. And I was like, why don't you try doing this? I bet you that will give you some views and stuff. And it kind of propelled him. Now he's got some pretty good size.
He went to Australia like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And met up with another like
YouTuber.
YouTuber guy. It's Nathan's Lawns. It's got like 5 million views or 5 million followers. Right?
Yeah.
And then they did some like neighborhood cleanup type stuff and sort of that. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I've
That's
seen him
nuts.
Kind of around town doing.
And he's also a real estate agent.
Is he?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
So anyway.
I believe his business cards are in the deli. Hope I got the right guy.
I thought that
Otherwise,
was the guy that works for you.
no, that guy too is a real estate agent.
Wow, that's
Well, it's a good market around here, guys. Everybody should be a real estate market. Anyway. So, do
What else is going on?
you carry a gun? Do you carry a gun? You're from New York, and you guys are kind of wishy-washy. I'll call you out,
No, I don't carry a gun.
Why not?
Why would I?
Self-defense? Do you believe in self-defense? Like people carrying guns and stuff?
He's a black belt in ass kicking.
No, he's not. No, he's not. What about you? How do you feel about guns?
I am pro gun, pro Second Amendment. I don't carry a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of like a choice that we had guns in our house prior to having a child, and then we said, once we had a child, like that was just our choice. Like which is kind of and I think some people kind of take that both ways, where it's like some people are almost doubling up when they have a child, 'cause they
right?
wanna, have more
Protection.
at home.
Mhm.
But,
So growing up, I'm gonna go with the main story again. I'm sorry here.
So
Growing
just
up-
remember, like I'm from New York, where possession, you weren't allowed to have a firearm. Possession of a firearm is illegal in New York. And if you got caught with a firearm in New York, it was a mandatory 1 year in jail.
Every time you talk about New York more and more, I don't want to move there ever.
Well, I wouldn't. That's why I left.
You wouldn't even want to visit.
No.
Right.
Why would
so
you?
in Maine, okay.
Here we are with Maine again.
When you get born, they basically hand you a firearm.
But wait, you weren't born in Maine.
I wasn't actually.
You were born in Canada.
I was born in Canada.
You Canuck.
But in Maine, I had firearms in my bedrooms since I was like 8 with ammo and stuff like that. Because we always did hunting and fishing and stuff like that. Hunting was just a standard thing to do in Maine. So I always had long guns in my room and stuff like that. And matter of fact, I can remember going to high school when I was a freshman and sophomore, senior, and we had guns that we hunted on the way to school. Because my high school was like 30 minutes away.
They had to watch out for the bears and the,
As the elk crosses the way.
right.
There's no elk in Maine. There's moose and deer. Anyway,
Fire a warning shot to get out of the road.
but partridge is a big fan. In the early mornings, you catch partridge hanging out on the sides
tree.
of roads. But anyway, we used to hunt going to school, and we'd hang our guns up in the back of our
pickup trucks
and go into school. We didn't. We left them unlocked and everything. That was just.
I'm envisioning Wayne's World. Remember a gun rack?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with the gun rack?
Right.
A gun.
Right. Yeah. You just see guns everywhere in everybody's guns rack. When I was growing up there, it's just like
just the way of life.
guns were just not a big deal. And then when I moved down here and we started talking about guns and stuff, for me, it's not a big deal. And I've always carried a gun. Always. And I why? Because, well, I never know when you need one. I mean, what happens if you hear dog attacks, things like that? You never know when you're going to need one. Not for some person or anything, but for other things. Like in Maine, there's wild animals. You live around wild animals.
Back
so
to
you
those
never know.
elk.
And the bear. But anyway, going back to the story, they just introduced a bill. And they're going to lower the concealed carry, the constitutional concealed carry down from 21 to 18.
So
what do you think about that?
18-year-olds will be able to walk around with a gun under their belt with a shirt over it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's their right to bear arms, it's their right to bear arms.
I mean, if a kid can go, but I'm torn because people say, well, a kid can go into the military and they can fire a gun at 18. Right?
Right.
So why can't they own a gun at 18? But then I look at alcohol laws. Alcohol laws is 21.
Isn't even cigarettes now 21?
I don't know. Are they?
I thought cigarettes turned.
I don't know.
But
I don't smoke.
Maybe I'm making it up,
But there's
I remember back in the day, Mexico, you were able to drink at 13, but
in Canada it's 19.
But yeah, it's a slippery slope. Like, what defines
Right.
when you're responsible enough to do one thing but not the other?
And obviously, alcohol is at 21 for a reason.
Yeah.
And I understand that reason.
what's the reason?
Well,
What's the reason you understand?
drinking age was 19 in Canada when I grew up, and we were drinking at 18 in bars. It's just like
So what's the reason?
because kids are stupid, and
If you use that
they
reason,
necessarily
then
need to get a little bit of time to grow up.
If you're using that reason, then you're saying they shouldn't be able to carry a gun at 18.
That's what I'm saying. That's my argument. I like to see both sides of things.
But you're contradicting yourself here.
That's right, because I'm seeing both sides of things. There's a reason why kids can't drink alcohol at 21. So do you think they should have a gun at 21 or should they have it at 18? I don't know.
But you're saying concealing.
Concealing. Carrying a loaded concealed gun.
Yeah. Where
At what age is a
Open carry?
No, at what age are you allowed to possess a handgun? Because I know there's different ages for different weapons, for different kinds of firearms. Am I wrong?
I think you can own a gun at any age.
I thought there was an age, like rifles and one thing, but I thought a handgun was at a certain age.
I feel very uninformed.
Me too. I don't really know these rules. I don't carry a gun.
Constitution says
Oh.
right to bear arms. That starts at birth.
Yes, but then I believe we have amendments to those constitutions.
But no, there's no amendment to it that says that you have to have a certain age to own a gun. So that's what I'm sticking with.
Okay, well, I'm just asking the question.
I'm very much a. Yep. That's so funny.
All right, on to the next topic.
I don't have a next topic.
You don't have a next topic.
I don't
so
have
Colin, what else besides being the local knowledgeable trash heap man? What else do you do? You are on the board for the Pickaway County Health Department, correct?
I am. I actually became the president of the board.
Shut
in
up.
January. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes.
What superpowers does that give you?
You know,
I don't mean to cut you off, but I remember when we both were on the board together as
we joined
newbies.
Together.
Yes.
I think there was a Scioto Post article.
There was.
A picture of us. I mean, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but one of us, has made it this long, and the other one has not. But
One had resigned.
one has resigned. It's gone through quite a lot of turmoil over the last several years, but the ship has definitely steadied.
Nice.
Which I'm thankful for.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah. So.
It was a little.
I used to go to those meetings. It was like 3 hours.
I
4
believe we
hours.
were at one that went to like almost 1 o'clock in the
Yes.
morning at one time,
Yeah.
and it started at what 7?
Yeah.
7 or 8 o'clock. It started and went to like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was ridiculous.
It was like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Do you guys post those meeting notes online?
Yeah, those get posted online. Yeah, it's public meetings. So
Mhm.
it's like, and we keep them generally like to an hour now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's with 15-minute continuing ed usually every meeting so we can hit our annual continuing education
Quarter.
times that we need. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
The local Facebook page always keeps me entertained. I don't know who's working on that
They're
right
doing-
now.
yeah, they're doing a great job.
But they're
with
doing a
that.
good job.
I'm really pushing them to update the website.
Mhm.
I'm like the website drives me crazy. It's like a 2000s
Yep.
page, but you've got to do so much work to update everything.
Right.
And so, but it's we do I've learned more about food inspections, septic and sewage, which I didn't even at the beginning realize how in depth that stuff gets into, and then the clinical was like the main thing because Richie and I joined December I think of 2019.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right when COVID was just starting to, and going down that slippery slope of not knowing what's happening,
Right.
and trying to do, I've got a lot of a different perspective I think than what I would have otherwise, having been on the board, because it's people didn't know, no one knew what was happening at the time, and you did your best. And I think we tried to be fair with everyone
Mm-hmm.
on both sides,
Sure.
and try and find a happy medium of places. So
Information is just information,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so, aside from that, do you sit on any other boards?
Gosh, now I'm thinking.
But you do work for
I do
For
work
Jack,
for Jack, yes.
and For Jack is here in
For
Circleville.
Jack is here in Circleville.
And you guys are hiring, right?
We are hiring. We actually did open interviews yesterday. We had a great turnout. I think we hired 4 people on the spot, which was great. So
And you guys are now in ESOP?
we are an ESOP, so employee stock owned plan, where basically the employees bought the company from the owners. So now it's kind of funny that the 2 owners are now employees.
Okay.
Or members, we call them members at Fort Jack, but they're the employees, and the 90 other members are now the owners of the company. So it's a very cool thing.
And how do you build up like value in the company?
So
Does it vest over time?
you vest over 5 years, and so right now we are starting into year 4 of the vesting. So we've got the people that were there,
From day one.
From day one, are almost fully vested now. And then there's some quirks of if you're over I think 55 or 60, you automatically are fully vested. But it's really a cool.
So you're saying when Jeremy turns 55 next year, he should apply for a job because
He
they're automatically
should.
invested.
He should. Get right on that.
Get right in there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
But it's crazy. So we are some of the work that we're doing right now that really is why we're trying to hire so many people is this AI boom
Mm-hmm.
that everyone's talking about. we're not in the data centers, but we are in these retail distribution centers that have, started utilizing robots, to get your Amazon or your Walmart or your Wayfair, Costco orders, whatever, you've got, they're fulfilling literally tens of thousands of orders every hour, on the hour, 24 hours a day, never stopping. And these robots, it's funny, they turn, so they're on 4 wheels, and they have these like spots all over the warehouse floor, which think of like an Anduril size warehouse, just huge 1 million square foot warehouses. They're turning at the exact same spot every time, and they're doing this tens of thousands of times.
So you get a little wear, huh?
So it starts wearing, and that floor, these robots, for as good as they are, the floor has to be perfect. So we're having to go in, tear out concrete, do new like epoxy coating.
Do you like working between the robots? Like the robot comes by and you're like, what?
It's a serious thing. Like the first time we did it, it's like no one is allowed on the floor when the robots are operating, because I don't know if like they're just,
they're programmed to do their thing and not to see you, so they'll run into you and whatnot.
Not like the DoorDash robots you see up at Ohio State's campus that are,
Sure. All the ones that are delivering. Yeah. So I was in Sofidel when they first opened. I did a tour in Sofidel, and they have like the forklifts, the huge forklifts that move all the pallets around. Everything is automated from the time the paper comes off the line to where it gets wrapped up on the tube, shrink wrapped. I talk with my hands. I can't help it.
He's half Italian.
And they put it in the box, and it's palletized. It's palletized by robots, and then once it's done, they send a signal to the other robot, the forklift, and it comes and picks it up, and it takes it down to put it away in the racks and stuff.
He says send the signal, and all I was thinking was Mark calling Orson, come in, Orson.
That's your age. But we're doing the tour, and we see this forklift coming down the way or whatever with a load, and one of the guys says, step in front of that. Step in front of that. This is like 6,000 to 10,000 pound forklift. I mean, it's a heavy forklift. Step in front of that. So I did.
But it's got safety features.
And it stopped.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
And it
but
waited.
I'm assuming these ones at these plants don't have that. Which would be the reason why that they.
Yeah, there's no. So they have to, and it's funny because they talk about how people have this worry of robots taking over humans' jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it as a shift, where it's like you're hiring now Jack that wouldn't be doing these large scale projects if it weren't for the robots. You have these IT computer engineering type workers that are having to maintenance and manage the robots. I mean, I'm sure there's a shift for sure, but it's not like a +1 robot, -1 human.
So you see it opening up more areas due to the maintenance and the wear and tear and the whatnot. Yeah. So it's adding more maintenance and fixing things behind the scenes than what it normally would have been.
Different mentality.
Right.
We watched these.
Except for the one that was just that the White House just put out where the robot was walking with.
That's Elon Musk. Elon Musk is actually shutting down parts of his Tesla program to build those robots now. He's going straight in like warehouse, like just like he was building cars. He's going to build robots.
Did you see the presentation China put on a couple months ago with their robots?
Mm-mm.
And doing karate and all this other stuff alongside regular people doing karate. Yeah, it's the robot market is getting crazy out there.
Wendy's in South Bloomfield.
We're just going all over the place on this conversation.
You're right, and you drive through their drive-through. Their stuff. Their drive-through is AI now.
They have a robot.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is?
Is there a robot?
It's not a robot. It's just AI. It just talks to you.
Oh.
It's nice. It talks to you nice. Anyway, it still messes up your order though.
Wow, way to call them out.
It still messed up my order.
So much for the Wendy's sponsorship. That thing's gone.
Where's the beef? Not here because AI screwed it up.
Maybe it's in the programming, because everybody, you always get your order messed up, and maybe it's in the programming. Maybe it's always been like that. Maybe it's always been a part of the plan.
So it was a pleasure having the show. Due to multiple lawsuits, we are now calling it quits.
And again, I go back to the Anduril thing where it's so amazing they don't have any of that.
Yeah.
And
it makes sense though. It's
yeah. And all their parts are coming in, so
but think of it from another aspect of things. They are building weapons pretty much, and the less computer and AI they have, the less chance they have to worry about being hacked.
No, I guess.
But I mean, isn't AI running that? Isn't AI going to
run the plane? Right. It's all autonomous. It's just such a weird, flip.
I'm waiting for a robot to make me sandwiches so I don't have to work.
That's it. I bet it's out there.
It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. You can yell at that all day.
Can they give? I got to be able to buy one that can give sass and attitude.
Yeah. Get the New York one.
So we have anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Colin?
It's been a nice long
Colin,
episode.
it's been great having you on here.
Great, thank you.
We got to have him back.
Yeah, we'll have to have him back.
Yes.
Trash
you
talk.
have to come back.
Next year?
Oh, well, I mean, you can come back before then.
I can come back.
You can come back before then.
Something.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the, push out all the new business openings before Jeremy. And
no, I appreciate that.
he's beat me on the last couple. So.
Yeah, well,
I see that. I was waiting. It's like it's been a challenge. Like, Colin beats the punch.
There's two new plays. I'm gonna do an interview with the slushy guys, the people, the pulp one.
Yeah.
They reached out to Scioto Post, and I'm gonna do an interview with them at the place. We're gonna make some. You want to come?
I'd love that because I feel like
You kind of jumped that one before me.
I jumped that, yeah.
And then I jumped it after you.
There was another news outlet that, we won't name any names, that stole my,
Stole your thunder?
Steal your thunder. Circle Herald.
They copy and pasted.
Those bastards.
And then there's a really cool one out there in Oregon. They're doing Smash Burger. Ever seen that one? Smash Burger. It's open right now. Smash Burger. And they're doing
like the actual name, or that's like what?
No, that's what it's called. It's called Smash Burger, and they do like hamburger,
like a hamburger smashed,
hamburger French fries, and they do
the name.
different kinds of smash burgers where they have like different names for them and stuff like that, like a barbecue one, and they have like all these different ones, and everybody's talking about it. So I haven't done a story on them yet, but I'm going to. Do you want to go? You want to go for lunch?
He says everybody's talking about it, but you didn't hear about it.
Doesn't a smash burger by nature, like as a chef, if you will, I mean, you're a little bit above the burgers, but you should know this. If you're smashing the burger, aren't you like taking out all the juice?
You are removing a lot of the flavor and
then
stuff.
You're having to add it back with the other.
stuff.
I mean, it's a thing. People love it.
It just matters how fast you're cooking it. I guess you wouldn't remove all the flavors if you're cooking it fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like White Castle. I mean, they're kind of like I love a White Castle.
White Castles are more steamed.
That was something we didn't have in Maine. White Castle's the jam.
5 holes in the burger, so it cooks quicker.
Yeah,
too.
but you have to ask for it with no onions on it because the onions jack you up, man. It's better with the onions, but like
you think that's what does it?
the whole next day.
You're gonna draw the line at the onions.
No, I've tried it both ways. It's the onions, man.
Have you ever had the breakfast?
Oh, the breakfast is excellent there. Because it's real toast and real sausage and stuff. It's good stuff. White Castle breakfast is the slam.
I love how he's like, it's real toast. It's real sausage.
I tell people, like, it's a legit egg. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
right.
It's not your McDonald's
liquid.
questionable. Yeah, where
Liquid
from,
mesh. Yeah,
I still love
it's
that, but
yeah. Their burritos are good. They have the burritos. The burritos are good there. I think their breakfast is still better than Wendy's.
Okay, so on that note, tune in next week for next week's episode of Week in Review with me, Richie.
And Jeremy.
And thank you, Colin Hedges, for joining us.